2024 at 9:34 a.m. Eastern Time with Miss Christie Hutcherson. It's going to be a short episode for everybody listening, and I've been trying to put these together. I think I have a couple more today or tomorrow of just people who are kind of on the ground doing something in for the hurricane relief, and it's less of people coming on to talk about experiences like a podcast would normally be. And this is more so I happen to have subscribers, a decent number of people watch. I have a megaphone. I'm in Maine. I cannot go physically help, but I have this. And so I figure it's better than nothing. I don't know how much help it will be. I don't want to make anybody any promises. I want to manage expectations, but that's what we're doing. In the description, I have all of the links, the WWFF or WFFA.win, www.heal-corp.org, www.foundationsentinel.org, and Kennedy INT, so I guess KennedyInternational.com. Those links are in the description. I'm going to post a live link around, and Miss Hutcherson, tell us what people, the message I glanced at last night was unleaded fuel. So that's all I know going into this. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, thank you first and foremost, Tommy, and all your listeners
Yes,
for
ma'am.
caring about our fellow brothers and sisters who are in desperate need. From somebody who comes from a state where we're used to hurricanes frequently, the great state of Florida. I've lived through many Cat 5s, 4s, 3s, every number, and it can be devastating. One of the, I think the hardest thing for everybody to get their head around is the fact that uh, the mountains were not prepared, nor could they see this coming. And so, through no fault of their own, especially the impacted areas where we call the holler. You know, my daddy's
Mhm.
from Kentucky. We have family who live up in hollers. And so I understand exactly the type of terrain this is. When the waters in the hurricane hit with the winds and the water and the flooding, it didn't just flood. It's almost like I want your listeners to visualize a freight train, but that freight train at full speed is now water coming down the mountains through the valleys and all of the water making the rivers and creek beds rise. And then you mix that with the destabilization of the mountains, right? The mud and the rocks and all of the sliding that happened to happen. And it took everybody off guard. Uh, when I tell you that when the dust all clears in months to come, we're going to look back and say this was one of the biggest, largest death tolls and destructions recorded on history. I was talking yesterday to Lieutenant Colonel Commander Parks. He works with the federal agencies, whether they were late or not on the scene. These guys who are on the ground now are doing everything they can. They take direction, right? It comes from the top down, and that is the commander in chief and Harris Biden. And this
Mhm.
isn't political; it's about leadership. And when we have natural disasters or any kind of disaster wars, we need strong, bold leadership with decisive action. And they were very delayed, and it's still delayed. And thank God for organizations like Women Fighting for America, which is my organization, Heal Corp, heal-corp.org, Foundation, Sentinel.org, and companies like Kennedy International Logistics and Services who have rapidly deployed to these areas. They've been on the ground. Since almost day one, since they could get in. We are setting up currently right now as we speak. We brought in yesterday heal-corp.org. They are setting up all of the forwarding medical staging grounds so we can do massive triage and help with the victims. There's going to be dysentery. There's so many things that come after this storm in the days to come. We have search and rescue, unfortunately. We have our canine cadaver dogs in. We're bringing in mules, horses, ATVs. We've been searching the mountains, and unfortunately, yes, we are coming across those family members who did not make it, and we're having to pin drop and tag where the bodies are. Uh, I know in this particular area, we're working in the areas that are hardest to get to. This is where we still haven't seen, as of yet, FEMA or anybody else being able to get in there. And so it's been tough. And these guys are working around the clock. These guys are military, these are trauma surgeons. Um, and so I'm so proud I'm just so proud to just be somebody who's lending a hand to help coordinate the supplies that we actually need, because that's really important. And the other thing I want to talk about while we have this 25 minutes to talk about is the rhetoric and disinformation and conspiracy theories coming out of this hurricane. Because right now, what we need is the actual truth coming out of these areas, and these conspiracy theories, which great, we know in this movement, right? There's been a lot of conspiracy theories that have been proven to be factual. And there's time later on to do that. But I'm asking everybody to tone it down and actually concentrate their efforts on prayers and actually donating and helping. And those people who want to help physically go in. If you do not have the skill set and you have not been involved in search and rescue, please go to either Operation Blessing or to a Samaritan's Purse or to an Operation Barbecue Relief, Sean Hayes's group, very great organization. You can be on the outskirts of this disaster and help. What we don't need is individuals who don't know what they're doing, who have not been in search and rescue in these hardest hit areas, because you're going to be more of a liability
Yeah.
than a.
Sorry, keep going.
And so we are in need of diesel fuel. We are in need of fuel. We are in need of blades for our chainsaws. We have a whole list. We are in need of triage kits, medical supplies. We are not in need of a truckload of Skittles. Believe it or not, that's a true story. And FEMA did intercept that truck and turn it around because we don't need a truckload of Skittles right now. What we need are blankets, jackets, warm weather sleeping bags. It is turning cold. It's 30 degrees in the mountains. People don't have homes. We need wood burning stoves if you want to donate. We need ATVs. So we have large and small needs. And if anybody wants to donate the funds, you can donate. If you don't care about the tax dollars, you can go to Women Fighting for America and donate. You can go to heal-corp.org. They're the medical arm of this. They are a 501c3. They're also foundationsentinel.org. They're a 501c3. These are the search and rescue guys. So all of these, and I'm coordinating and working directly with, I'm on the team, and we don't care where the money goes. We just know that the money is needed, the supplies are needed, and we are coordinating this effort. And I promise you, your listeners, 100%, I don't take a salary. None of my team takes a salary. We are a 100% volunteer force. We don't have administrative costs. We don't have overhead. We're not like the Red Cross and all of these other organizations where very little bit of your money goes towards the
Hmm.
actual effort. 100% of every penny you give go to supplies and feeding and rescue and medical supplies and surgical equipment that's needed to help these folks.
So I wrote down, and I messaged the next guest and told him I'll be a couple minutes late, so we can go longer than 20 minutes. Diesel. So I just wrote down diesel, chainsaw blade or chainsaws, sleeping bags, wood burning stoves, triage kits, ATVs. So, and again, I'll make a list of that in the description for people listening or who don't want to watch the whole thing. I'll put it in the comments. But um, what else should I put in like the pinned comments? A diesel,
We need
chainsaw,
to
sleeping bag,
put
stove, triage,
pressure.
ATV.
So yeah, we need to put pressure. I just heard from one of our doctors, literally as we're on a thread with
Yeah.
disaster relief. We are facing major challenges on setting up shop in areas FEMA is operating. They are behaving like children, tossing out NGOs. Most of the local sheriffs are complying with FEMA. So FEMA is being an obstacle to a lot of the organizations who are vetted, who work with FEMA. And so I'm not trying to diss this administration, but this administration is a major problem with helping legal American citizens, citizens of this country,
Hmm.
and people who have been doing this in theaters, in war zones, etc. We aren't new to any of this. Heal-Corp have helped in disaster zones, even not helping with the Ukrainian government, but we've actually gone in Heal-Corp and they've helped facilitate rescuing children, right? and providing much needed medical care to these war-torn children areas. So FEMA, I'm hearing, is being an obstacle. The local sheriffs are cooperating with them. They are saying F you. Oh,
You
no,
can say,
I can't say it. Never mind. I'm
no, you
not
can
going
say whatever you can say
to.
whatever you want. You can say
No, no. I need to be.
you can. I'll say it. They're
So
telling
that,
they're telling FEMA get the fuck out of the way. I'll say it, not you. You're good. You're good.
okay,
You're an
good.
angel. I'm the bad guy.
I'm
It's
off.
cool. It's all
Okay.
right. I said it, not you.
Um, there'll be we're doing it's all about permissions, right? And when we have natural disasters and lives are at stake, sometimes damn be to permissions with organizations who know what the hell they're doing. And so we need to put all your listeners out there, make the phone calls to your congressman, put pressure on FEMA, put pressure on Mayorkas, who runs all of these groups. The buck stops with Homeland Security. Mayorkas, by the way, everybody is in charge of FEMA. He's in charge of uh, Secret Service and other agencies,
And
and
Border
we see
Patrol.
how and Border Patrol. So we see how well these organizations are run, right? Well, they are run well, purposefully, to not help the American people, and so we are desperate for help. We need people on the ground. We need supplies. We are going to do it regardless of what they tell us to do, because we're doing the right thing by the American people, and that's what this is about, coming to the aid of our fellow brothers and sisters who are in desperate need of our help.
Yeah, no, they work well for the national security apparatus that are doing all these things, but not for what's actually going on. And yeah, even though it is deeply political, and I personally think Biden and Harris are demons from hell sent to destroy the planet, it's also that's not the again, that's all well and good to talk about at a future date. Right now, there are people who frankly don't care if you're Republican or Democrat who need water, need food, need antibiotics, I mean, a simple cut can kill you from sepsis if you don't have basic hygiene. So I think for their sake, maybe we'll even though I can, I'll happily do it. I'll happily talk about how bad they are. It is more important to
One of our
get
doctors just texted me. He is our direct contact. So we're trying to set up locations in different areas, dam with FEMA.
yeah.
Um, he said, with regards to donations, please suggest and asking donors to help with mobile medical units. How do you help with mobile medical units? Donations, quite frankly, money. So go to wffa.win or heal-corp.org. Also, if you are a business owner and you happen to own a pharmacy or a CV, anything with medical supplies, if you own a medical supply company, please contact, if it's okay with
Yeah.
you,
No, I know some people that
and
I might be able
can
to
you
help.
please have your contact number? They can reach out to you directly, and then you have my personal cell phone,
Yeah.
and you can get them directly in contact with us. And that way I can have the doctors give them directly the list of the needs that we need to set up these medical outposts. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. I'm going to give some insight about what we're seeing on the ground. Complete washouts of towns, complete washouts of neighborhoods and communities. They do not exist. We have to take layer upon layer of debris and mud to do search and rescue. We are going to find 96 hours typically is the window for survivability, and then it turns to a recovery. We are still praying that we're going to reach individuals who are just we can't contact, right? Communications and comms are down. So we're trying to set up communication, even though there's the satellite. Some of these people don't have chargers to charge their phone. So we're coming across individuals who are stuck up in the mountains that people haven't heard from in a week and trying to get them life-saving equipment. And so we desperately, and I know you probably hear it in my voice, um, it's a war zone, worse than anything we've ever seen. When I was talking to Commander Parks, he said, quote unquote, 27 years of him doing this, this is the worst he's ever seen. Um, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And we're going to need the long haul. So in January, February, March, individuals, we're going to need donations. We're going to need volunteers to still come to this area. Rebuilding, there's so much that's going to go on. But right now, we need everybody to focus on medical, search and rescue, and getting warm supplies, right? So think about a cold weather primitive camping. That's what we need as well.
Okay. So for mobile medical units, so I wrote down I have several contacts I can ask. Obviously, I can't guarantee anything. So just my you can see my own OCD. So of course I'm running. This is the one episode I'm running out of post-it notes, except for I've had those for 5 years. Diesel chainsaw, sleeping bags, firewood, fire stove, wood fired stove, triage kits, ATVs, and then mobile medical units. And so more than anything, money. I have a couple companies I can ask. What is there anything anyone can donate that's in a mobile medical unit, or is that pretty much like is does that have to kind of come from
If
medically
anybody has
packaged?
a type of trailer that can be utilized for our mobile that they want to donate, we also have funds, we can purchase. So if you could give us a heavy discounted rate, we can also purchase things. That's of course where the money donations come in that we're using that. So whatever's not donated, we're able to purchase and buy.
Hmm.
I'm even just now getting word. So we're at a private airport that we've taken over up in the mountains in the harder hit areas. I just got word that MW is parked in the lot and they're not even trying, they're trying to not let our cadaver dogs in and our search and rescue teams.
MW?
Yeah, so basically
What's that?
it's mobile, it's mobile units of police or uh,
What?
mobilization. This administration is
Okay.
literally stopping help from getting in. People, these are military, by the way, when you go on to our website, you can tell we're all in either the defense or military space. We've all served this great nation in this country who are on the ground right now, including the doctors and the nurses. We've worked for our federal government, trained by our federal government, so we know what we're doing, and they're actively engaging in stopping us from coming in to help, and they don't have the resources. They do not have, the government directly does not have the resources for this.
Again, me talking, not you. Conspiracies, all that good stuff. There's conspiracy, and then there's a conspiracy in front of your eyes. I mean, I get, people they're controlling the weather. Sure, whatever, go do that on your own. But you guys, there needs to be video documentation because there's one thing if it's inept government bureaucracy, whatever, like like a crappy Facebook meme. But I mean, if they're actively inhibiting. That you need a doc, not you or whoever. You need to document that because right now I'm hearing it from people. I've yet to see any videos or pictures, but someone needs to document that and get names and something at the very least because that might inhibit it. But if not, that needs to be documented because that I mean I'm not up to date on I don't know international code, but I do believe that's like accessory or attempted murder. Like if you for the same reason you can't park where a fire hydrant is because that can be attempted murder. And the same reason the fire department will punch out the windows of your car and put a fire hose through it if that's the quickest way to get it. That's completely fucked up. And I don't have any education in this. I have a biology degree. I'm 34, whatever. But if they're actively inhibiting it to where people have nothing and everything's washed away and there are cadavers out and there are, I don't know, environmental conditions akin to Verdun in World War One, that that's an actual crime. Again, I have a biology degree, but I'm also not an idiot. That's a crime and that needs to be documented. And you are more than welcome to use my podcast to document it in HD video, and I will make sure it goes in multiple places where it can't be deleted, even if I wanted to. But that's an actual crime, and that needs to be documented through audio visual. Because right now it's all anecdote, and I'm not doubting you, I'm not doubting anyone that's saying it, but for the sake of like legal action, that needs to be documented.
Well,
That needs to
Tommy,
be
I understand
documented.
more than anything about chain of
Sorry.
command.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I understand about chain of command and how these type of situations you have to have this ran like a well-oiled
Well,
machine.
sure, it runs down
And
from
you
the
have to
top.
keep out individuals who are going to be more of a liability,
Yeah.
because we don't need to be diverting
Sure. No, I
resources.
got you. I got you.
But this is criminal as far as I'm concerned. When you know that these organizations already work with and have approval with the federal government, and then they're trying to stop and prevent from this getting through or for you from you helping, it's not helpful. And it's certainly not helpful to the, whatever happened to good old-fashioned common sense, right? We're here to help. We're not in the way. We're highly trained. We've got a well-oiled machine. Samaritan's Purse is there. Great. And we need Samaritan. I think Samaritan's Purse is probably one of the best organizations out there. A heck of a lot better than some other groups that I'm not going to mention right now, who actually do hand and feet work. But when I know for a fact that there's not enough boots on the ground with FEMA and our National Guard in the area, when I know how the breadth of destruction in the area that has to be covered in such a short period of time, and when they're trying to prevent nonprofits or organizations who are vetted by these groups from doing the work that they need to do to help rescue and to get life-saving medical equipment and doctors, and they're trying to turn them away and prevent them, there's a problem I have with this. And again, I don't blame the foot soldiers. I
Sure.
blame the hierarchy, right?
Sure. No,
Everything
you're right.
comes from the top down. This is orders from Mayorkas's office. I'm no doubt about this.
Yeah.
Mayorkas is giving the order, but who's giving Mayorkas the order? Well, that would be the office of the president and the vice president of the United States. So America, we need to wake up and understand that our federal government is working against time and working against you to get help to areas that are needed. And again, this isn't political for me, but I have a problem when we're diverting $237 million to Ukraine for aid. I have a problem when we're diverting billions of dollars to illegals who broke into my country and my nation illegally from the get-go. And they can sit there and say, oh, they're coming in through the CBP app. Well, no, that's still an illegal app that was created by Mayorkas and this administration to help to make it look like they're legal now to get funds. Whatever you want to call this pretty little red package that they've decided to feed the American people, it's lies. I'm somebody who's worked for 20 plus years in the federal government space, defense contracting in the private sector. I'm somebody who has has a business who the federal government, including the DLA and the Pentagon, directly contracted with for years, with including helping with the troop drawdown under Obama, under those years in Afghanistan. So when I'm speaking, I'm not speaking from just a citizen's perspective. I'm speaking from an insider who understands the system, who understands both from the Republican or Democratic leadership. They both are at fault because Congress controls the purse strings. They have the ability to stop this with a stroke of a budget pen, right? And then you've got the corruption within the leadership. And I am sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of my fellow American citizens bleeding and dying because of the policies while we are diverting funds and diverting our help, our military aid to other countries when our own country is in grave, and I mean grave, dire. We have citizens who are dying on the mountain right now. And we need to get in there and we need to be able to do the job that our own government will not or refuse to do. And I'm not, by the way, saying that the National Guardsmen and those guys on the ground who aren't doing everything they can, because by God, they are brave and they are doing everything they can with a hand tied and behind their back and a blindfold on. It's time for us to take the blindfold off, the hands untied, so the Americans can do what we need to do to protect and defend our country, our nation, and the American people.
I completely understand that those are the foot soldiers, and that's, I have buddies who like did artillery in Afghanistan, and I always think of it's like when people ask them, they're like, we went to Iraq under false pretenses. It's like, dude, he was 18 and he had no idea. Like, you didn't do that. Was Dick Cheney. He didn't do that. So I totally understand that, and that should be clarified. That being said, still needs to be documented because regardless if it's Bob Smith who's in the National Guard or whether it's Mayorkas himself, it still needs to be documented. I'm not saying bring down the wrath of God on the poor foot soldier, but the action needs to be documented
So I'll tell you
with a
what,
timestamp.
there's somebody out there who has who's not just as somebody who does documentary film or understands how to work a camera. If you also can be 100% self-sufficient and you're strong, because we're going into areas that are completely devastated. We don't need somebody. I'm willing to take someone in with me. They'll have to get vetted really quick through our security. But if you want to come, I'll be more than happy to. I'm personally going to be documenting, and I have been documenting this myself. I'm not making this political, and I don't want to exploit anybody who has been impacted because I understand. Like I said, I live in Florida. I've lived through hurricanes and devastation. And so this isn't political, but we need to understand America. And I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, because I don't believe in the party system anymore. The party system has failed you. Period. That's it. Hard stop. And so we have to put people in power who understand true leadership, who understand our Constitution and the values that America holds and how great this country actually is. We have come to the aid of the world. It is time for the world to come to the aid right now of those impacted by this storm. So please donate. We need donations. WFFA.win, heal-corp.org, foundationsentinel.org. We need your help. We need the North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee citizens need your help. They need your aid. And you know what? We have another storm coming right behind us right now in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a Cat 3 hitting directly. And our work will not be done for quite some time because we'll also mobilize and we'll have to help those victims, including the ones right now on the Big Bend of Florida who are still recovering. So this, again, is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Please, everybody out there, listen to my words. This is factual information being given to you. No BS, no bloviating, no bait clicks. This is hardcore facts and truth. We need your help. We are being pushed back by our own federal agencies. That is a fact. Some of the stuff coming out and the conspiracy theories, are not true. But I'm telling you, they are trying to turn away and prevent medical teams. That's from our doctor on the ground, a trauma surgeon. So put pressure, please, on our government agencies and give. I understand right now it's really tough with the economy we live in. $5, believe it or not, goes a long way. We don't have administrative costs. 100% of every dime you give, I can verify that 100% with these three organizations. Please help us. Please help the people and pray for this country.
Yes, ma'am. And again, for everybody listening, so all the links are in the description for where to give. And then again, it's diesel fuel, it's chainsaws or chainsaw blades, it's sleeping bags and blankets, it's wood-fired stove, it's triage kits, it's ATVs or mobile medical units. You can go donate. And then again, I have some companies that I can contact. I can't promise anything. Anybody listening, if you know someone that they run a whatever, they run a Dick's Sporting Goods and they have band-aids, just see if you can, just see if they send it or something. Send it half off, whatever. I mean, whatever. Sell it at cost. I
I
don't
don't mean
care.
to interrupt you, but I just got another text in.
Yeah.
This is from one of the heads of heal-corp.org. I'm not going to mention who this is, but he's one of the head members of this organization. He actively, he's a pilot. He also coordinates major relief all over the globe. This is what he just said in our group disaster relief team text. Guys, I'm flying team members from all over the globe. We need some assurance we will be let on the scene to do our medical work. America, this is what we're facing under this leadership.
Damn. Yeah.
This is almost bringing me to tears right now because
Yeah, you're
this
bringing in
is sad that
doctors
this
from
is
all
the
over the
state.
planet. Yeah.
We can get all over the globe, and our own federal government lets us go into Ukraine because, by the way, you have to get permission to go into Ukraine. But this government, the leadership won't allow our medical teams on the ground. We don't have assurance. That says everything you need to understand about your current leadership. And again, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent. This is what we're facing.
Yeah. I think y'all just need to go.
Sobering.
I don't know what's legally actionable, so I should probably watch my tongue. But I think you guys should just go in. Just go in.
Well, we're going in. We're
Yeah,
already
just
there.
go in.
We're
Make
there.
them shoot you. I mean, who
We're
cares?
already there. See, we were
Yeah.
the first one. These guys, Foundation Sentinel, us, we were already there. We're
Yeah.
doing the work.
Yeah.
Be damned. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, I'll film them putting me in handcuffs and dragging me away.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because you know what? It's the right thing to do. Sometimes you just have to do the
It's a
right thing.
moral imperative at this point. It's, you know what, what makes me angry is man, who's that pilot in Vietnam, the My Lai massacre? He landed the plane in front of the soldiers massacring the civilians, and he trained a gun on them and said this is unlawful. What happened to the balls to do that? You know what? If it's again, it's easy for me to say, but I mean, if you guys are seeing people suffering, you have doctors ready to go in, and there's just I'm with you. They're just the foot soldiers following orders. Make them shoot you. How much do you really believe in this? You're 18, you're in the National Guard. Shoot the fucking doctor. Put it on camera. See how much he's involved. See how much he's involved. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he won't. Maybe he will, and maybe I'm now complicit in murder. I don't know, but you see people hurting, go in and help them. I, what arrest you? Then have them do it. At least you know. At least you will have the peace of mind to be like, you know what? I didn't sit around and not go in. Go in and do something. And I know I'm aware it's very easy for me to say this on the podcast. But hey, you know what? I've been banned from YouTube and iTunes for interviewing doctors during COVID. The doctors reliably tell me that I was on a list from an agency in DC. I've been visited by the FBI for this fucking podcast for talking about election fraud, for covering January 6th, for talking about vaccine injuries. I had on Baz and Pete Chambers a week ago talking about Iranian shoulder-fired cruise surface-to-air missiles being brought over the border, and they called me the night before and said we're coming on your show because, quote, the DOJ and the Secret Service won't listen to us, and they came on the show, and these are two hard asses that told me, hey, by the way, Tommy, don't leave your apartment for a couple days, watch your back. I'm kind of at a point where I don't give a fuck. If you're gonna shoot me in the face, fucking do it. Go in and help the people that need help. I'm not inciting violence for the legal assholes at the Fed watching. I'm not saying that. I'm saying make them do it. You know what? Fucking make them do it. For the same reason, I'm not going to sit down. Well, I shouldn't talk about the vaccine. They're putting a vaccine in the hearts of babies that are giving 3 months old heart attacks. This is a line to see where you stand between good and evil. You don't have to believe in God or the devil or any of this shit. There's good and there is evil. And you know what? At a certain point, go do it. Go do the right thing. Fucking come no knock me and shoot me in the face during an interview. I don't give a shit. This is fucking evil. And please excuse me for my language, but it's evil. It's absolutely evil. And you know what? And if we don't do anything, evil is allowed to persist because good men fail to do, or good women fail to do something. I don't you have my podcast until they come in and shoot me in the face for doing it. I don't
Uh,
care. You guys need video. You need a place to put your video of them doing of enacting unhumane laws and not letting send it to me. I'll put it up. I'll put it up until they come in and physically unplug the computer. I don't care. Fuck these people. Excuse me.
no, I
Sorry.
mean, emotions are charged, when people are suffering, our own people are suffering, and we're being stonewalled or pushed back, um, and not given the go ahead or the tools that we need or the help that we need. And it's frustrating. Believe me, I hear the desperation in these guys'
Yeah.
voice on the tech coming through on our thread. And so it's disheartening. It's disheartening to know that they're trying to block aid getting in. But again, that's the reason why it's so important that we have the proper supplies, the proper individuals, and the proper clearances to go through, like our organizations. It doesn't help us again to get a truckload of Skittles.
Yeah.
That's what gives, this bad taste. It's like everyone wants to help, but we have to make sure we're getting the right things to the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
And so you have to make sure you're going through organizations who have the capability of absorbing this and getting this logistically and getting it to our staging grounds. Again, WFFA.win, heal-corp.org, Foundation Sentinel.org, great organizations, Kennedy International Logistics and Services. They're not taking funds, but they're helping with their guys on the ground. If you want to help support security, we do need security, and a lot of these guys volunteer. They've discounted their security rates because we have to also secure these products. So if you want to, we have a security fund that we need. So you can go to WFA.win and earmark yours and say, I want this to go towards security costs. It's going to cost about $10,000 a month to secure all of this stuff. So we have different needs. all across the board. So please help donate. And again, if you have actual like milk tanks, if you have fuel tanks, diesel, if you big items, ATVs that you can donate, please get in contact directly with Tommy on his podcast, and he will put you directly in touch with me or one of the members of my team. This is critical right now. Again, also the Reawaken America tour will be in a couple weeks in North Carolina. It's turned into a humanitarian relief. So I don't know if there's a lot of tickets left, but again, if you're in the North Carolina area, I don't know. I was supposed to be speaking there. I'm not sure if I can or not because my attention is focused on helping my fellow brothers and sisters in the North Carolina mountains. But if I am there, I'll give everybody an update. Uh, please, please put pressure. Also, call your congressman, let them know what's going on. Corey Mills, Congressman, Senator out of the state of Florida, Congressman out of the state of Florida. He is incredible. He has been doing and showing exactly truly what's been going on. God bless Corey Mills. Thank you so much. We need more of you to come down and show exactly the red tape that we're getting in the pushback.
Yes, ma'am. And again, for everybody listening, you can contact me at Tommy's podcast, TOMMYS at gmail.com. Don't, if by all means, leave a comment, but if you're trying to get in touch with me or something, comments are not the way to go. Tommy's podcast, TOMMYS at gmail.com. And I will put you in touch with Christy. And again, all of the links are in the description. And again, for everyone listening, diesel fuel, chainsaws or chainsaw blades, sleeping bags and blankets, jackets, wood-fired stove, triage kits, ATVs, and mobile medical units, or donate or any of that stuff. And again, perhaps most importantly, everything I said that's not Christie. That I speak for Tommy. I don't speak for any of these organizations. That's me. All right, including my unhinged rant. And again, sorry for that language, but you need to document it. You need to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing the Lord's work, and as always, God will guide you and protect you. And it's He always does. And I forget that, and that's why I get so angry. And then it comes through, and it works, and you're like, hey, God's real. It does help. And then I forget, and then I'd go forever. But Miss Hutcherson, excuse me. Thank you so much for your time. Um, absolutely, you have my contact. We can do this anytime. You just need to do a quick update here and there. We'll do it. And yeah, let's do everything we can.
Thank you so much. God bless you guys. God bless the listeners and God bless this great country.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Please help. All right, everybody. God bless. Thank you so much.